Kearney was our first real open with a lot of our starters in that. A lot of guys wrestled Wyoming, some guys wrestled at UNC, and had good showings in all of those first two tournaments. And then the CMU Open, had a lot of young guys wrestle in that tournament and wrestled well and showed some good things there. And then the UNK, we took, I think, entered 29, 30 guys into that tournament, and a lot of matches, a lot of coaching, a lot of wrestling going on that day. I think we had the most guys entered into the tournament, really. But had some guys wrestle real well. Donnie Negus got into the finals, and Dylan Fuchs, young guy, got into the finals in the younger division and all that. So, a lot of guys got good matches, and we saw some Midwest teams in that tournament, which is pretty important when we go out there. That's the main reason we go to that tournament, is to see a lot of that competition that we may never see during the year.
And then matchup this week with Western on Thursday. Big rivalry. Talk about that.
A few years back, we started doing the double duel with Western. Again, we did it probably 6-7 years ago, a double duel for a couple years, and we feel like it's good for wrestling. We're 2 hours apart. We see a lot of the same kids. We recruit a lot of the same kids. And, I think it's just good for wrestling. This duel won't count towards the RMAC. This will be just basically a show up and wrestle type duel. We swap every year, and the spring duel is always for the RMAC, wrestling for the RMAC.
And Erik, facing your former team again, what are the emotions going to be like on Thursday?
Emotions are going to be normal. I just think of it as another match. I knew almost half of the team, the whole team, coming from there last year. Great group of guys, like I said. Just really excited to compete against them this year. So,
Questions?
Yeah, what are you expecting out of that reunion?
It's going to be a fired up matchup like it always is. Just watching the matches last year, I believe that the crowd's going to be there. All of our fans are going to be there, and it's going to be a great show for us and the Western group too.
You said the emotions are going to be normal, but you can't help but think that there might be a little bit of pressure. It's like, this is my former team. I got to beat them.
I got a little bit of taste of that this past weekend at Kearney. I actually wrestled Cody Fatsinger in a match at the tournament. But now that I got that out of the way, I feel like the pressure's a little less because I know it's going to feel like just wrestling my past teammates. It is a normal match. So,
Coach, this roster is bigger than last year. A lot of new guys in, and there's been quite a few duels and opens. Is there anybody kind of standing out that maybe you didn't see early on here?
I think Donnie's wrestling real well. Donnie Negus at 197s. Last year wrestled 74s. Kind of made a decision this summer, that let's look at 197s. He knows where he's at with Nolan Crone. They wrestled off a few times last year in that. Wrestled matches, I should say, more than anything. And I think Donnie just made the commitment. He works hard. He's one of the hardest workers on the team. And, for a guy to go up and and he's super strong, to be able to go up and handle those guys, I think he's been probably the biggest surprise, and not just to us, but I think to the conference right now too. He just got into the top 11 ranked wise, and so for Donnie, he's wrestling well. Wrestled well, got out to Kearney. Had some good matches out there. Beat I don't know what French is, number 6'5", somewhere in there, in the first duel of the year. So, he's wrestling well. Donnie's doing a good job for us. And, Erik is going to get better each week. He wrestles hard. He works hard. He's maintaining his weight. He's very focused. And so, we're looking for good things from Erik this year as well.
And then, this early in the season, kind of watching people's reps and injuries have been a thing in the past. How do you kind of make sure everybody's healthy and staying well throughout the season?
I think every year you try to evaluate, your injuries and that, and we feel pretty good right now. Yesterday we had, Monday practice is good for us because I don't think anybody has class on Monday, so it's good. And I think we had our whole team in there. Even one of the kids that got hurt earlier in the year and a few other injuries, they're actually back in the room. And I think everybody that's on our roster was in the room yesterday working out, and not just partially working out. They were working out, full practice and that. So right now I'd say we're injury free. We got some ticky tacks just like anybody, but right now we're injury free.
You mentioned a couple of your younger wrestlers are really wrestling well right now. How much does that benefit the whole team?
Well, when you look at our roster right now, it's pretty young in general. I'd say there's 4 or 5 sophomores on there. Erik's a freshman. A couple other guys in there that are young as well. You got Tywater that's 50-year senior, and Donnie's a 4-year guy, and then you've got a little 25-pounder, Colin Metzger, that's a junior, but other than that, most of the guys are freshmen and sophomores, So Danny Van Hooswitz, he's a sophomore. So, you look at, I think it's good for all of them. A lot of these guys, though, wrestled a lot of matches as freshmen, wrestled in the regional tournament. I think last year, one duel, we had 7 or 8 freshmen wrestling one duel. So, they're getting some experience, that's for sure.
And being at this point in the season, looking back from right before the season started, do you think, are you where you were wanting to be at right here?
Well, I think, our goal right now is just keep getting better, keep working on what we're working on each day, keep getting better and keep pushing for that. There's really 2 weekends that count in the wrestling world, and everything is practice up to that point and building up to get to the regional and get to the national tournament, and staying healthy is the key. Last year we did deal with some injuries, and sometimes that's out of your control. The injury bug, it just hits, and last year it hit us, but we just keep plugging away. We do have more depth this year, so if we do have some of those injuries hit again, we do have some more depth. But again, you try to not pull your red shirts out if you don't have to, and just try to evaluate each week where we're at and try to make sure we're staying healthy.